Too hot. Too hot. Too hot. Two men. Two men. To men. To school. To school. To school. Which is correct? How do you know which to use? Today, we have a three-way matchup of confusing words. I'll give you some tips to help you figure out which is correct in a given sentence. Confusing words. Two. 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 First, let's take a look at too. T-O-O. There are a couple of different meanings of too. Number one, too is an adverb. It is used to modify an adjective. We use it when we are talking about something extreme or something that is more than what you prefer. Too hot. Too cold. Too much. Too red. Too salty. Too wet. Here's a tip. If you can substitute very and it still makes sense, then T-O-O is the word you want. Too hot, very hot. Too cold, very cold. Too much, very much. Too red, very red. Too salty, very salty. Too wet, very wet. Secondly, too can mean also as well. I like chocolate ice cream. Me too. I also like chocolate ice cream. I too was once young like you. I also was once young like you. We visited the Grand Canyon on vacation last year. We went there last year too. We also went there last year. So here's a tip. If you can substitute also and it still makes sense, then T-O-O is the word you want. Next is T-W-O, which is, of course, the number two. It means a pair or a couple. Two cars. Two trees. Two turtle doves. Two pumpkins. The tip here is, if you can substitute a pair of or a couple of, and it still makes sense, then T-W-O is correct. Notice T-W-O is a counting number, so you can also ask, am I counting something? Two cars. One car, two cars, a pair of cars. Two trees. One tree, two trees, a couple of trees. Two turtle doves. One turtle dove, two turtle doves, a pair of turtle doves. Two pumpkins. One pumpkin, two pumpkins, a couple of pumpkins. Lastly, we have to, T-O. This one also has a couple of functions. One, to is a preposition indicating direction, so towards something, recipient, or time, distance, etc. Walking to school. There, to indicates towards. Going to church. There, to indicates towards. Chicago to New York. There, to is used for distance. 2:45. There, to is used for time. Give flowers to Mom. There, to is used to indicate the recipient of the flowers. Secondly, to is an infinitive marker. It's used before a verb. John likes to sing. Do you want to play chess? Don't forget to brush your teeth. To be or not to be? That is the question. Okay, so we have a couple of tips for this usage of to. If the word comes before a verb, then it's an infinitive marker and you would use to. You could also think about whether or not direction towards or time or recipient is involved. And that would be a clue that TO would also be the word you want. So let's summarize what we've seen so far. We've got this question, when do you use TOO, TWO, and TO? So the first question you want to ask is, does substituting very or also make sense? If yes, then we would use TOO. If not, then we move on to the second question. Does substituting a pair of or a couple of make sense? Another way to think about this is, are you counting something? If yes, then use TWO. If not, then we move on to the third question. So in other words, if you answered no to questions 1 and 2, then you ask this third question. Are you using a preposition or an infinitive marker? So in other words, is a verb following it? If yes, then you would use TO. Now, if you answered no to this one as well, then something's not quite right yet. So you want to go back and take a closer look at question 1 and question 2 and reevaluate your answers, because it's got to be one of these 3 cases. Okay, it's time to test yourself. See how you do. Number 1, do you think this sauce is too salty? Notice that if we substitute very, then it makes sense. Do you think the sauce is very salty? So TOO is the word we want. Do you think this sauce is too salty? Number 2, you can drive to Los Angeles on the historic Route 66. Okay, this usage involves direction, so it would be TO. You can drive to Los Angeles on the historic Route 66. Number 3, Mike went fishing all day but only caught two fish. Okay, Mike's counting the fish that he caught, right? So for counting, it's going to be TWO. Mike went fishing all day, but only caught 2 fish. Number 4, hand in your exam paper to the test proctor. Okay, this one involves a recipient. Somebody is getting that exam paper. The test proctor is, right? So recipient means that it would be TO. Hand in your exam paper to the test proctor. Number 5, I'm taking violin lessons too. Okay, with this one, notice we can substitute also. I'm also taking violin lessons. So TOO is the word that we want. I'm taking violin lessons too. Number 6, you didn't have to make your bed. Okay, notice that this one, there's a verb following it, right? Make. Make is a verb, so it would be TO. That's the infinitive marker. You didn't have to make your bed. Number 7. Goldilocks thought that Papa Bear's chair was too hard. Okay, with this one, notice that hard is an adjective, and Goldilocks is talking about it's extremely hard, it's very hard. So that's our clue that we should use TOO. Goldilocks thought that Papa Bear's chair was too hard. Number 8. Which ferry goes to Mackinac Island? Okay, this one's talking about direction towards Mackinac Island, right? So it would be the preposition to. Which ferry goes to Mackinac Island? Number 9. We'll leave for the train station at 10 to 4. Okay, this one's involving time. 10 minutes before 4 o'clock, right? So it would be TO. We'll leave for the train station at 10 to 4. Number 10. Too many cooks spoil the broth. This one is also involving extremes. Very many cooks, right? So, TOO is the one we want. Too many cooks spoil the broth. Number 11. I'd like two eggs for breakfast, please. Okay, this is a counting one, right? Counting eggs. So, TWO is correct. I'd like 2 eggs for breakfast, please. Number 12. When do you usually go to work? Okay, this one involves direction, right? Towards work. So, TO is the correct one. It's the preposition. When do you usually go to work? Number 13. Do you want some ice cream too? Okay, this one, do you also want some ice cream? So also works, it makes sense. So we use TOO. Do you want some ice cream too? Number 14. Taking care of two dogs is a lot of work. Okay, notice here we're counting dogs, right? So if we're counting, that's our clue that we'd use TWO. Taking care of 2 dogs is a lot of work. Number 15. I forgot to set my alarm clock last night. Okay, with this one, notice that there's a verb after it, right? Set my alarm clock. So we need the infinitive marker, TO. I forgot to set my alarm clock last night. So, how did you do? Pretty good? Or maybe you need to brush up a little. No problem. You can do this. Well, that wraps up this episode of Confusing Words. I hope that you found it helpful. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends who are interested in improving their English. Have a great day, and don't forget to have fun learning English. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.